Welcome to the week of October 26th for social media marketing. I'm Sean Canary, your professor. In this week's assignment, we're going to be reading Chapter 7, which is Designing Content for Social Media Communications. And then a homework is to find, create, and design 4 different pieces of content to share for your brand. I want you to describe the channel used and the audience targeted. I just want to talk briefly about last week as we were to create a 1-week content calendar with 7 days of posts. Got some great posts, and I'm just going to show you one of our posts here. Ms. Schneider actually contributed this. I thought this was very well done. Was a post that she created for an entire week of work. Wonderful job. And completed the assignment correctly. With that said, I'm sure this took a lot of work to create that much content. And not all content has to be created. A lot of content can be curated. Okay? And what curated means is that you go out and you gather the best information possible and repurpose it and add context and deliver it to your providers or your followers. This is what social media is based on. For every one self-promoting tweet or post, I want you to post 4 non-self posts, meaning that you go out and you find information that your consumers would find relevant and interesting and share it. So let's talk a little bit about Chapter 7 and your assignment. So in Chapter 7, in your Stu Kent book, the learning objectives are to describe what content marketing is on social and why it can be beneficial for marketers, understand the risks and challenges involved with social media content marketing and how to mitigate them, learn how to develop an effective social media content strategy. Obviously, as you go through this, content marketing obviously is to create content that consumers or followers on your brand would find interesting or useful. Content marketing actually was discovered right here in Cleveland and is a very, very good way to market your company. Content marketing works so well on social media because there's an increased activity, or there's an increased chance for interactivity with your followers and to gain new followers based on what you're talking about. So when you develop content and you share content that your consumers find interesting, you'll grow your audience and potential customers. In addition, there are some risks, okay? Posting everything and anything is not the best approach. You have to make sure that your content that you're sharing, that you're going out and finding, matches what your consumers are looking for, their pain points, their interests, their struggles of everyday life. And you want to make sure that you don't offend and you don't talk about anything too controversial. But finding content and sharing it is very important. Here's 5 quick tips on developing your own, actually it's 7 tips on developing your own content rules. 1, be relevant to the audience. Okay, so develop posts and find information that's relevant to your audience. All right, if your consumers are all mechanics, make sure that you find some articles and find content that is relevant to mechanics. Be relevant to the brand. People follow your brand because they're interested in you and interested in what you have to say. So make sure that posts, especially the social media content that you go out and find, is relevant to your brand. Don't sell. Don't advertise all the time. Again, for every 1 piece of self-promoting content that you're trying to sell, share 4 or 5 other pieces of article that are not selly or advertising. All right, so make sure that people don't like being advertised to, so try not to force promotional messages on them. Think about your DVR. You record your TV shows and fast forward past commercials. So it's important that you integrate your communication, your content into the entertainment. That way they're being advertised to without knowing it. Always be useful, informative. Find articles and share thoughts that are useful and informative. Always be positive and upbeat. Don't ignore what the audience says. Okay, listen using filters in Hootsuite as far as what your consumers have questions about. Okay, then find articles and create content based around what they want. I think this article that Ms. Schneider did was great, or these posts were great, because again, she's bringing into the fact that, hey, they want to learn about smoky eyes, the makeup tips. They like makeup tips. I think it would be great to have more makeup tips in here and more things like that. So listen to what your audience says and produce content around that. And then have variety across your content. All right, you don't know what works unless you test different types of content. So test text, test photos, try videos, try infographics, and make sure you test it at releasing it at different times throughout the week. All right. Now I know what you're going to say is, how do I find information that's relevant to my content or to my customers? Well, good news is that Hootsuite can help you find it. Hootsuite has a feature in the publisher tools called suggestions. And when you click on suggestions, it's going to ask you for 3 keywords. I already have this set up, so I'm going to go back into the settings. So this is what you'll see. And you can actually choose topics based on what your company is about. For instance, I'm interested in digital marketing articles, advertising articles, and anything to do with Baldwin Wallace, since I am a representative of Baldwin Wallace University. So what I do is save this, and then what happens is your suggestions will go out and find content for you. Very great, easy way to go ahead and find content that your consumers will be interested based on the settings that you set. So your homework is to find, create, design 4 different pieces of content to share for your brand. I want you to describe the channel used and the audience targeted. Okay? So what this means is I want you to find 4 pieces of content out on the web that you could implement, you could share with your social media. I need you to create the post that you're going to share along with a link to the article or piece of content. If you have any questions or need any help, as always, I'm available to give you feedback throughout the week at scanary@bw.edu or scanary@gmail.com. Canvas is still a new system, so there's still some communication glitches, so make sure that you email me directly for the quickest response. So again, your homework is to read Chapter 7 in your book and then define, create, design 4 different pieces of content to share with your brand. Describe the channel used and the audience targeted, and actually create the posts. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me. Have a great week.